Guess there's nobody around tonight. Somebody's here. Hello, JC. JC, can you hear me good? Excuse me. Can you hear me well? Well, hello, Faye Bob. Imagine seeing you here. You know, it's past your bedtime, Faye Bob. It's almost 11 o'clock. Even with the time change, it's past your bedtime. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Boy, there's some people jumping in here. 38 people. Nobody got anything better to do? Go watch the grass grow or something like that? Hey, Todd. Sorry I missed you, man. I was in Fargo. Passed right by your house, probably, didn't I? Hey, Matt. Timmy. Jeff. I'm going to miss somebody. Nova Nut. Mike. Joss. And Elderly Iron. Wow. Jeff Bradshaw's in the house, guys. Say hi to Jeff. Oh, no, JC, that's not good. Man, I did that right before I left. It took me 10 days to get healed up. And now I'm beating myself up on the road. NC Automan, you made it this time. The other night, I was laying in bed. I was down there at R Peaks, bed and breakfast. And I was laying there and had my phone. I dropped my phone in the corner of it. I dropped my stinking phone right on my stinking face and put a big old stinking mark right under my stinking eye. And I said, self, that's going to leave a mark. And it did. It did. Where am I tonight? I'm in some motel off of some freeway somewhere in Alabama. That's about all I know. Come home. Why? Why, Robo Frank? You missing me? Crazy Joe. Scared you dead? From where? I don't know where you're at, but thanks for stopping by, man. Hey, Kevin. I got the stink eye. That's right. Captain Tom, you are sure you're Johnny on the spot or Captain Tom on the spot, man. It's good to have you jump in here. Captain Tom's my moderator. So if you guys get it, if Faye Bob gets unruly, he'll put a stop to it. Man, old RP, I just spent a couple days with him. Boy, he's got a nice place. He's right on the big old lake. I mean, big lake. Hello, Paul. Is that Michelle? Rob? Hello, Rob. No, Faye, I know you wouldn't get unruly. So Robo Frank, oh, you're missing me. Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody does. Joshy probably does. I bet old Josh is missing me. Two laners. I'm doing, you know what? I did almost all two laners today. I drove the back roads. I wanted to dodge Atlanta. I did not want to go through Atlanta. And Google, that's where Google told me to go. But I don't always do what Google tells me to do. I'm kind of ornery that way. So I went through parts of Georgia that were just spectacular. And I didn't realize anyway. Oh, there was some big giant oak trees that are beautiful. There was some fantastic architecture. You know that Elberton, Georgia, where our peak lives, is. I know you don't, Jeff. You're the same way. You're just ornery. Elberton, Georgia, is the granite capital of the world, and they have the most beautiful granite. I mean, their road markers are granite, and everything's made out of granite. And I guess they got great big quarries around there. It was really interesting. But when I left there and headed west, I went to a town, and there was this big building made out of pink granite. Oh, it was just spectacular. It was really saw some nice architecture today. I like old buildings, and where Matt lives, Chevaholic up there in West Bend. Well, little towns around West Bend, some wonderful buildings, and that's how he gets a lot of those great photographs that he does. He does some fantastic shots with his rat rods, and a lot of times they're in front of some old churches and various buildings, but they got some really cool architecture there as well. Yeah, I was scheduled, Ed. I just didn't want to be involved with Atlanta or anything that they had to offer. So I went backroads. I forget the name of that. I forget the number of the highway that I was on, but um, it was a nice road. It was 2 lane, but it was really nice and there wasn't much traffic. It was very enjoyable. And then I come up over this mountain and oh, what a view. And then I wound up someplace I didn't even know where I was at. Come to find out, I was up on Sand Mountain where I played music 20 years ago. I was within 20 miles of Rangeville, and that's where I used to go to a little country store down there and play music. But the reason I'm here tonight is to let some of you guys know that my plan is to be in Mountain View, Arkansas with the one and only Danny Brown on Saturday. I'm going to try to be at the town square up there about noon, and I'm pretty easy to spot in that Impala. So I don't know what's going on there this weekend. I don't know if they got a big music thing going on or some kind of fall festival or harvest thing. I don't know what traffic's going to be like. I don't know if there's any place to park on the square up there. I was in Mountain View about, I don't know, 30 years ago, I guess. And I don't remember much about it, but I do know there is a town square, and that's where I'm planning on being about noon on Saturday. And I know some of you guys that were in here the other night live around Mountain View, and I'd like to meet up with you. If that works out, that would be fun. And we sure, somebody got noticed. Who got noticed? I'm missing some of the chat here because I'm talking. Oh, yeah, we will say hi to Brown. Excuse me. Yep. Even my bookkeeper, I talked to my bookkeeper today because she told me, she called me, she went to pay bills and she called me and said, Ken, your checking account's $2,000 to the negative. You need to transfer some money. So I guess I've been spending a little money on gas, quite a bit, but there's Wayne Cook. Hey, Wayne. Oh, you betcha, Wayne. That was my pleasure. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope we'll get to do it again. And I hope that the next time I see you, Wayne, I hope I have my guitar with me, and I hope I've been all practiced up so I could get through one song without messing up. R. Peak, he played the harmonica with me a little bit. If you go to R. Peak's YouTube channel, he's got a video of us playing a little bit. And Wayne, I didn't know that you knew R. Peak. I didn't know you two were acquainted, but he talked about you. He knows you. And I don't know if you guys have tried to play music together or thrown any files back and forth like you and I have, but he likes picking that banjo. He started on something, and I looked at him, and he said, "Yeah, I did," and used to look at me the same way when I started playing. And so, but we had a lot of laughs, and we just had a really good visit. Our Peak is the first YouTuber that I met 15 years ago. I will, Faye. I will tell him hi. Even my bookkeeper said tell Danny Brown hi. Danny's got quite a fan base. He really does. But 15 years ago, our Peak was the first person to ever comment on my first video. And his video was the first one that I ever commented on. And we got acquainted that way. And boy, the camera resolution has sure improved since back in those days. I had an old 235 Chevy with dual carbs and split manifold fired up. I put that video up, and you couldn't hardly even see that it was an engine. It was so blurry. It was so bad. The resolution was so bad. So, is anybody in here anywhere near Batesville, Arkansas? That's where I was hatched. I'm going back to my birthplace. I'm going back to Batesville, where I was born. See if it's changed any. I know I put on a lot of weight. I only weighed about 8 pounds when I was born. Oh, back in the Jeep snowplow, yeah, but I've known him a lot longer than that. Way before then. Same thing, huh? Nova Nut. Yeah, it's kind of silly, ain't it? Memphis, Tennessee. I won't be going through Tennessee. Yeah, well, yeah, he is, Wayne. He's a good guy, and I hope too you get together someday. You could play some real music. 4.3. That's a V6, ain't it? Can't be too far from Alberta to Arkansas. He's in Elberton, is where, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, you're right, Shopcat. You just hop me old Chevy Impala, and because they'll go anywhere in the world. I've found out you can go anywhere in the United States if you just got you a Chevy Impala. Silliest thing. I shouldn't even tell this on myself, but I always do. We always tell the good and the bad and the ugly here on Weight on Wires Old Iron, and I did a silly thing. I was hitting some potholes on the way down to Mr. Heavy Chevy's. So when I got down there, I thought maybe I needed some new shocks. I couldn't remember when I put mine on there. They looked good, but I didn't know how old they were and how many miles was on them because I couldn't remember because I'm old. But yeah, that's elderly, or Jeff, that's Dinah Shore. See the USA in your Chevrolet. I'm rendering a video as we speak. It's called, I want you all to watch for it. It's called the Chevyholic Experience, and it's an experience. But I had to cut out so much footage of that cruise that we did, and it was so awesome. Every inch of it. When I get home, I think I'll make a video that's just of that cruise, and it might be 2 hours long. People want to watch it, they can, and if they want to click off, they can. But what I did was, when I got to Mr. Heavy Chevy's, I went and bought some brand new Monroe shocks and put on that thing. Well, I got her there, and the same thing I was taking off. Brand new Monroe shocks. I'm just sure of it because I guess I was just hitting some really, really deep potholes, and it felt like maybe it had bad shocks. So I put brand new ones on there, and wouldn't you know, I forgot them. I was going to throw them in the trunk, but I forgot them, being me. Took off without them. When I got to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and put my toes in the sand, I driving around there the next morning, and I heard this popping. I hit a little bump, and I heard pop, and it didn't sound good. And I crawled over there, and I was looking over everything I did under there because I rebuilt that whole front end. And boy, I was looking things over real good, and I couldn't see anything wrong with my, control arm work or ball joints or tie rod ends. Everything looked good. I got down there to R Peaks and started bouncing it, and it just, boy, that old fender bounced on the driver's side. Well, pulled the shock off, had a broken shock, broke clean in two. It was in two pieces. So in typical Whalen wire fashion and R Peak fashion, instead of going down and getting a new shock, I welded it back together and put it back in, and it's doing great. It's better than it was brand new, apparently, because they didn't weld them together. They didn't weld them when they were new, and they should have. Yep. They are some big hunks of metal, but that Impala is not as heavy as most people think. Most people think that's a 4,500-pound car, and it's not. It's a weighs 300 or 3,300 pounds. Faye, did you go to bed? Faye Bob, I know it's past your bedtime. That's a good story. Well, I don't know if it's a good story, but it happened. But I'll tell you what, you talk about this trip. You remember the other night, and I told you guys, if some of you are here now that were here the other night, and I told you guys, if I had sat down and planned out a trip that I thought would be a wonderful trip. Okay, Faye's still here. I would have sold myself short. And it is so true. I was in, where was I at? I was in Greer, South Carolina, visiting my friend there, my friend Anacortes Bob that passed away last year. That's where his mother-in-law lives. And I promised her I'd come see her. She's got to be pretty close to 90. And she cooked me eggs and bacon and biscuits and grits for breakfast, and it was mighty fine. But that morning, before I was going to leave, she said, well, I'm going to take a shower. And I said, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go wash my car. So I go down the street, and I see this dealership there, and I pulled in, and there was a couple guys out front, and I said, they'll know where a car wash is. So I asked the guy, and he goes, yeah, over there at that other dealership right next door there. And he said, around back. He said, well, just follow me. He said, I'll be on the golf cart. And he jumped on a little golf cart thing and ran off over there, and he introduced me to the guys around back where they's washing, I guess, dealership cars and for the lot. And he said, these guys will wash your car for you. So the guy said, oh, yeah, no problem. And he said, and while they're washing your car, John up here, he'll give you a private tour of this car collection, this private collection. The guy who owned the dealership's 86 years old, and he has a private car collection. And, that guy, that's Southern hospitality. That guy just dropped whatever he was doing and spent an hour. He spent an hour with me showing me all these cars and telling me everything about them, and he didn't rush through anything. He took his time and told me about everything in there. And there were some interesting things. There was, Mr. Jensen, Bobby Jensen, I think is the guy's name. His first brand new car was a 49 shoebox, and it's in there. But there was a car in there that had a jacket hanging in the back window there, and he started telling the story about that jacket. He said it belonged to a famous race car driver back in the day. And there's New Zealand Mike. Hey, man, good to have you here. Finished grafting for the day. Anyway, let me tell this story before I forget it. So this famous race car driver, he talked about losing. He didn't lose hardly any races. And then finally one day he lost a race, and he said he lost to this young guy, this unknown young guy by the name of Richard Petty. And I thought that was a pretty good story. Hope you're enjoying your adventure on the road. I thank you Thank you, Mike. I am having a blast. And I was just telling a story about these guys that just dropped what they were doing just to help me out and get my car washed. They washed my car for me, and it gave me a private tour of this car collection. And I went back. Just about the time we got done with the tour, which was an hour, they called and said my car was ready. So I went to get it, and that thing was shining like a new dime. Boy, they shined that thing up. Tires, polished the wheels, interior smelled good. They cleaned it and put something on the seats, and they worked on it for an hour. And I said, well, what I owe you? And the guy said, oh, $20 will do it. And I go, no, come on. I gave him $50. I said, let me buy you guys lunch at least. So, hey, there's George, the Shade Tree Fix It, man. I was just going to send you an email because I don't think I'm gonna make it to see you on this trip, George. I sure appreciate the invitation and the kind gesture. You talked about taking me to dinner, and I wish I could, but I'm kind of running out of time. I can only make so many stops, and I'm not going to get that far north. I'm quite a bit south of you, and I'm starting to feel like it's kind of time to head toward home. I mean, I'm not in a hurry, but yet I need to keep moving west because I am really missing that little grandbaby of mine. She's 15 months old, and talked to my son, and he said that she recognized me in that video I did the other night with you guys. She knew that was Pappy. Well, that makes me miss her even more. Yeah, I am having fun. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for the good wishes. And George, Shade Tree Fix It. Jeff Bradshaw's in here saying hi to you. I don't know if you saw him or not. But yeah, I'm missing that little one. Yeah, she was just 14 months old, and she's had another month since I've been gone. Another monthly milestone, I guess. Now she's was 15 months on about right after I left, I guess. Ken let you out of the dryer? Yeah. I never did call my overalls Mike, but I should have. Hey, Captain Tom, that's my friend there. Mike is a grafter in New Zealand, one of two in the entire nation. And absolutely, George, I want to do it. I want to see everybody, and I can't. But I do want to meet you, George, and I'd like to come and spend a day with you. I'd like to spend a day with you wrenching on the Goofy cart or something like that. Well, so is anybody in here yet? Is there anybody in here near Batesville, Arkansas? Anywhere near? Thank you, Faye. Yeah, she's she gets to me. That little girl. Surely there's going to be somebody in here from Northeast Arkansas, Northern Arkansas, North Central. I don't know where Batesville. I was just born there. I don't know exactly where it's at. Okay, there's New Orleans. I'm not sure yet, Ken. I had planned to go to California, and there's a gentleman there that I kind of need to see. He's my mentor. He's the guy who taught me the grafting business back in 1981, and he's not in the best of health, and I would really like to see him. And he's in Reedley, California, which is just south of Fresno on Highway 99 there. And I wanted to go see him, but at the same time, I don't drink. They don't. I don't know if they have any tea. I just had to have a cold drink, and I'd never been to a Sonic before. And I got over there, and they didn't have hardly anything. They didn't even have a fork or a spoon. Didn't give me a straw. Um, didn't have much, but yeah. So somebody's asked me my route home, so I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to go to California, and there's a couple people there I want to see. And my foreman's son, Victor's son, lives in Bakersfield, and I'd really like to see that young man. He dropped whatever he was doing and came and helped me with our grafting season the year I had my open heart surgery. And he always calls me grandpa. And all of Victor's kids do. I've been around their whole lives. Is Brent in here? I didn't see him come in. And no, I'm in Alabama, Wayne. So I didn't see Brent. He must have snuck in the back door. Yeah, the Bakersfield Sound. Yep. I don't know about corn dogs. Well, hello, Adrian. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah, he lives in Mexico. He lives in Zacatecas. Yeah, Victor is a good guy. He has certainly helped me out, but I've helped him out too. The other day, I almost turned around and went home because of something going on there at my shop. I trapped a skunk just before I left, and I got people looking after my place there, and well, another skunk showed up and started eating the cat food again, and I hate to impose on people. And I told my daughter I was thinking about going home, and she said, "Don't you dare." She said, "You need to do this for you." She said, "Think about all those years Victor got paid and you didn't." So she's right, I guess. So she and my bookkeeper as well kind of encouraged me to keep on this journey that I'm on because I'm having such a good time, and I'll probably never do it again. I think I mentioned earlier that I was thinking next year I go, well, next year I'll just bring that little short box, and then I'll go, I can't afford to do this again next year. This is a once in a lifetime thing. I don't have the big grafting jobs like I used to, so we don't have all that running around money that we used to have. But it's a write off anyway. Yeah, you're right, George. We got people from across the pond visiting with us tonight, all over the world. We got some world renowned people in here. Okay, come on, guys. There's got to be somebody in here from Mountain View, Arkansas, or close to there, or close to Batesville. No, nobody. Well, skunks are not cool because they eat up the cat food, and then I can't just have him give him fill up the whole thing cat food. You have to feed him every day, and they're not that cool when they're thieves, and they are thieves. Hello, Whiskey Creek. No, he didn't spray in there, Howie. He didn't make a mess, but I don't know if you saw the video I posted on Instagram or my last video that I posted on here where I released him and I was holding the cage and he just crawled around my feet and checked out my boots, and he didn't spray or anything. Yep, Johnny Cash was from Arkansas. I don't know where Fort Smith is, but Northeast Missouri. Oh, you're way up there. I was raised in Missouri. I was born in Arkansas, but my folks moved to Missouri when I was 6 months old, so that's where I grew up. Trash pandas. That's what they are. Trash pandas. Captain Tom, I have not totaled up what I spent on gas because I want to wait till I get home. So when I pass out, I'll have a place to recover. Hey, Brent, there you are. You snuck in the back door, man. I didn't see you come in. And I am having a good trip. I'm having a fantastic trip. If you missed it, you'll have to go back and watch the first part of this video because I don't want to repeat myself. But I'm having just wonderful things happen all along the way that I could not have even planned or even thought up. You know, things just fall out of all the blue. I don't know where he is, George. I don't know. Yep, I am, Brent. I am having a blast. Every day is an adventure. I'm not going to be coming through Shreveport. I'm not going to, well, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm going to go that far south. First I thought about it because I've got a nephew there, but like I was saying earlier, I've got a little 15-month-old granddaughter at home that I'm really missing. So, yeah, they are the best trips. You just don't know what's going to happen next. Hey, Brett, you weren't here when I was talking about, I put brand new shocks on the front of that thing at Mr. Heavy Chevy's, which they didn't need them, but I put them on. And then before I got to our peaks, I broke on. One of them broke in half, just broke in two pieces. I never seen one do that. So I took it out and welded it back together. Made it better than it ever was. I should take the other one out and weld it before it breaks. I can build better shocks than what they sold me. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. You know, I had a goal in mind. I wanted to go to the East Coast. I wanted to drive that old car from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I don't know how, but it made it somehow. Yeah, new stuff is junk. I try to avoid fast food. I didn't have much choice tonight, but usually I just go to the grocery store and try to get something. I got some barbecue, some pulled pork today, but there's nothing wrong with that. I had a pulled pork salad and it was awesome. And if you look on my Instagram, look on Waylon_wire on Instagram, and you'll see that what I posted today about lunchtime and the cook, I had to go back in the kitchen and give the cook my compliments because that's some of the best food I've had. But that old Chevy's doing pretty good. It's like a dream. I just can't believe that it's this far from home. I can't believe I'm driving on the East Coast, you know. Well, yeah, we can pretty much get parts for it. They didn't have a heater core in my hometown, and it was going to take 3 or 4 days to get one, I guess. And thank you, Faye. I'm hoping to get a video loaded up tonight yet. We got, oh yeah, we got 23 minutes to go on that video. How long have we been going in here? I forget where the timer is on this thing. Anybody know how long we've been yakking here? 34 minutes. Okay. When I started the trip, you know what? I can tell you that. If I can find my phone, I'll tell you. Here it is. Here's my phone. Okay. Used to cruise your stuff across country. Well, yeah, yeah. Somebody, a friend of mine, was asking me if it had cruise control, and I said, "Why no?" 1963, and she goes, "Oh, I feel sorry for you, and you don't need to pity me. I was driving them rigs long before there was ever cruise control, and that Impala, it just sits perfect. My foot just is there in the natural position. I never even think about cruise control. It's just in the right place. And boy, I drove a lot of them before cruise control ever came along. So um, I can't read these little letters very good. But somebody's asking me how many miles was on that thing when I started, and I'm going to tell you. When I left home, or the first fill up, it had um, 11,596, 111,000. That car had 104,000 on it when I got it. When I left on this trip, it had 111,596. Okay, somebody do the math for me. And right now, my last fill up, it had 115,900. So how far have I gone on this trip? Somebody tell me. I stopped. My last gas fill up was up on Sand Mountain, and this lady came out and said, "What year's your car?" And she's looking it over, and I told her, and she says, "Got 327." And I said, "You know your cars, don't you?" And she goes, "Yep, I had a '68 Camaro with 327 in it." And we talked cars quite a bit. She knew her cars, And when I went in the store then and got ready to leave, and she said, "Well, you ought to have a pretty woman with you." And I said, "Come on." And boy, she just fell over on the counter, grabbed her head, and started laughing. And it's probably been a long time since she had an old man hit on her. She said, "I don't think my husband liked that very much." And I said, "Oh, well, he's a lucky man." I like it. But when I walked back to the car, I heard rapping on the window, and she was still laughing and banging on the window and waving. She got a kick out of it. Cruise control. Well, I guess that's good, Harry Faber. I don't know. That's Hey Jeff. That's my Wayland Wire impression too. That's how I sign all my little messages with that little icon with the cowboy hat. He's got a big round fat face just like mine. Looks just like me. Artistic things. What artistic things do you speak of? I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about the yard art, I built it all. And I built all my own. I built my furniture too, not my couch, but my coffee table, end tables, and side tables, and all that. Oh, Merc. Oh yeah, 5,000 trip, 5,000 mile trip. Hey, did somebody come up with the mile? How many miles I've traveled? Was anybody? Was I thought you guys are supposed to be doing the math for me? Nah, it's over 4,000. I was at 4,200 when I hit the beach. No, 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 no. It ain't. It's more than 4,000. It had 11,596. Now it's got 15,900. That's more than 4,000. Got to be, because I was 42. It's got to be. I must have wrote something down wrong if I'm telling you guys. I know what I told you. 15,696 maybe. 15,900. Yeah, that is That is only 4,000, ain't it? I'm sorry. I beg your forgiveness. Please forgive me. I'll have to total that up because I thought I was over 4,000. I may not be. I may be reading something wrong here. I'll figure it up tomorrow when I'm not tired. I'm tired. Yep. Everybody's saying 4,000. So I guess they're right. 64 Bel Air. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of glad mine has oh, power steering. It drives really nice. 4,400. That's, yeah, 4,400. That sounds about right. Because I was at 4,200 when I was at Myrtle Beach. So that's probably about right. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Daniel. I should never argue with any YouTubers. They're always right. They wasn't right about my disc brake kit, though. Man, people give me a lot of bad information about that. Glad I didn't listen. Instead, I followed the directions that came with the kit, and it worked out real good. I had a 56. Yes, I have had a Tri-5. I had a 56. Okay, 4,404. All right, that sounds about right. I'll buy that. Um, yeah, that Impala has got really nice steering. Pinky power. Yep. Yeah, that's right. You drive like this, or your pinky, however you want to do it. Thank you, Todd. Junebug said 43 or 44. Yeah. Ken says 4,000. You're right. I was wrong. Please forgive me because I'll be wrong again. Okay, 129 people here. Nobody from Mountain View, Arkansas. Because the other night there was somebody in here from Mountain View. But at least we got the word out in this video. If anybody watches the video, maybe they'll watch it tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can't get me and old Danny Brown to be on the town square in Mountain View, Arkansas on Saturday about noon. So there you have it. And I'm real easy to spot in that car. I won't say a word, Norman. I won't say a word. Denton, Texas. I've heard of that. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Mr. Customs. Sure enjoy your videos. Something about you Canadians, boy. You guys work hard at it. You know, Dee Dan and old car guy, y'all put in some hours, and yeah, you paid your dues. Sure appreciate what you guys do. You inspire me. Jeff Bradshaw. All my exes live in Texas. Twang why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Hermiston, Oregon. I know where that's at. I've been there many times. You will, David. David Fraser might be driving through. Are you going through Batesville, David? Yeah, you did, didn't you, Wayne? You saw it before I ever got off the road. You saw it. He saw me getting on the off ramp. And where was we at, Wayne? I forget. Flint? Were we in Flint? Around? No, that's where you live. Where did we meet up? Oh, Ironclad is here. Hello. Late for the show. Yeah, you're late, Ironclad. You're going to have to go back and catch up. Where'd you get that hat from? Um, I don't know. It's a Bailey. I got it online. I get the same kind every time because I like it. It's got a small brim. Don't have great old big type cowboy type Texas sombrero brim. It's just kind of a little. It's more like a fedora, but it's a little bigger than a fedora. Got a little bit wider brim, but not not real wide. Thank you, David. I am having a good time. That's for sure. That's must have been it, Fred. I was counting smiles, not miles. That's why I thought it was more than 4,400. But you guys did the math, and I know you're right. Thank you. I am enjoying my trip. Thank you very much. Hey, there's old Jaws Jr. You caught me. You did catch me. Yeah, kind of an Indiana Jones, JC, something like that. Say goodnight, Ken. Brighton. Okay. Okay, Brighton, Michigan. I couldn't remember. I've been a lot of places. I've been everywhere, man. Well, did you hear what I said about Danny Brown being on the town square on Saturday? I'm gonna try and get him to come with me. Well, thank you, David. I appreciate it. So, David Frazier, did you are you going anywhere near Batesville on your way back through on Saturday? Thank you, William. Appreciate you watching. I don't know about driving Fred. I don't know about that. Oh, that'd be a trip. That would be a trip. I think he'd make it. That's a good motor in that old truck. But I don't know about the rest of it. I was happy. I'm still happy, man. Yeah, I've been everywhere. I don't know where I-40 runs. I just, you know, I just let Google do the walking and the talking. Walks across the map and tells me where to turn. I don't even pay attention to what road I'm on. You got Chevy parts on hand. That's good. That's what I need. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, old Peak, he's pretty good on a harmonica. I never heard him play the harmonica on his show. Well, we're going to be in Mountain View, David, if you get a chance. Yes, Jaws Jr., the Impala is doing very well. I've tinkered with it a little bit. You got here late, so you don't know about the broken shock that I welded back together, put it back in. But I did that at R. Peak's place, and but yeah, it's doing well. The last fill up, I got just under 16 miles a gallon, which I've got so much weight in that thing. Oh man, I'm dragging way more than I should have brought with me. Jack stands and floor jack and big old tarps to lay on and insulated coveralls and half my toolbox. I brought everything except my lift, and I've only had to use a screwdriver. Tighten the visor so it wouldn't fall down on my face. Everything else, all the rest of the tools I used for Mr. Heavy Chevys or R Peaks. I am in somewhere in Alabama. Yeah, Captain Tom. I'm gonna try to get him on video. His health is not good, and I don't know when we'll ever see each other again. And I figured I better go see him. Might be the last time, either one of us. Ain't neither one of us buying green bananas. So, but his sight is he's losing his sight, and he's supposed to have a valve put in his heart, and he just kind of give up. And I try to get him to walk because walking's good for you, but he won't do it. But I think he's about 5'7". I haven't seen him a couple years. He told me he weighed 290 pounds, so he's not in very good shape. I told him I found a plane ticket for $500 round trip ticket, and I was going to fly him out there. He said he couldn't travel. He didn't feel up to it. So that's part of what this trip is about, to go see him. Yep, my heater is working really well. Man, it'll run you out of there. Works real good. Fred Flint. Read what? You guys read Fred Flint's comment. We'll set something on fire, probably. Oh, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to rockabilly, and I listen to Kentucky Headhunters, and I listen to Ozark Mountain Daredevils, and I listen to Johnny Cash, and I listen to ZZ Top, and all kinds of stuff. I got a big old boom box in my back seat. It's Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth speakers, and so I just tell my phone what I want to hear, and it plays through my boom box or my speakers. It's not really a boom box, but that's what I call it. Yeah, he just don't want to. He doesn't seem to want to move around much, and but I'm gonna get on him. I'm gonna give him a whooping when I get down there. Yes, sir. That's right. That's how I see it. A lot to live for, even the last days. Oh, I'm getting tired. And I've been on here 52 minutes, and this video is about done. Oh, it says it's 100%. It's just putting the final touches on it. I've got a video rendering on another computer over here on the sidelines. Hey, Todd. Man, I bet you are glad you walked that canyon twice. Todd Cordell, your son-in-law once removed. Oh, boy. Yeah, I know, Jaws. He's got a pretty big fan base. Old Brown does. When will be in Batesville? Not going to be in Batesville, but Mountain View is real close. We're going to try and be in Mountain View. I'm going to try and be in Mountain View up on the town square there at noon on Saturday. Well, good night, George. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for stopping by. And I'm sorry I'm not going to see you this time, but I really wanted to make another trip like this and see some of the other folks that I didn't get to this time. I kind of had a few stops planned for a long time ago, and our Peak was one of them, and I got to see him. But I've had lots of other invites, and I just can't see everybody. I'd be zigzagging all. I'd be on the road for 6 months. Those two trips did you good? I bet they did. Yeah, I bet they did. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. Getting tired. Oh, thank you, Michael. Michael Dunn. I appreciate you watching, man. This one coming up, I think you'll like. Got a good one coming up. I'm going to get it loaded. Well, I don't know how fast the internet is here. I kind of treated myself to a decent room tonight because I had such a horrible time. Smoke alarms going off in the middle of the night. And, then our Peak texted me this morning at 4:30. Said he was going to make some breakfast. He's got a bed and breakfast down there in Elberton, Georgia. It's a pretty good place. Boy, he's got a view. I mean, he's right on the lake. Not a view from his house so much, but you just walk down the lake, and it's spectacular. He's really got a nice spot. And yeah, he cooked breakfast for me this morning. But I woke up at 3, so I've been up since 3 o'clock. So whatever time it is, it's quarter till 12. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry, but um, have Brown throw some gas on it for old time's sake. Throw gas on what? We'll have to throw gas on something. Well, you're welcome, Jaws. I do think of you guys, and that's why I sign on here so I get to chat with some of you guys. It's really fun. 122 people. Imagine that. 122 people got nothing better to do. That surprises me. Okay. I will. Yeah, I played some bluegrass along the way too. I like a lot of different kinds of music. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I've been trying to not say that too much, Jeff. I've been kind of shying away from that little saying. I'm safer to say that at home. When you get 4,400 miles from home, you don't want to be saying that. What could possibly go wrong? Because just might. But you know what? I figured out. I was thinking about that the other day. I was met with some skepticism before I left. Some couple people said, you're crazy, drive that old car. You can't be serious about driving that old car. That's 60 years old car. How you gonna drive it? You're nuts. Well, yeah, I guess I am. But we used to drive them. So yeah, but I kind of quit saying what could possibly go wrong while I'm on this trip. I got that on hold. Another one I like is, oh, excuse me. I like John Prine too. I hated that we lost him. We lost him this year to COVID. Lost John Prine. He was a good guy. He was a good one. Well, thank you, Jaws. I don't know if that's saying a whole lot. Thank you, Two Hands. I like your handle there. Two hands working. That's good. Oh, thanks, Jeff. That's very kind of you. Oh, DD Dan, I told him he was doing real well, and he said, "Well, you're the one put it together. Well, what would you expect? Would you expect anything else? Of course, it's doing good." And I go, "Well, that's the very reason that something could go wrong. It's because I put it together. That's the absolute reason that it could go wrong. That's a good excuse for it to have something happen because I had my hands on it." Yeah, I know I'm making you guys yawn, huh? Okay, I think the video is done. So I'm going to start the upload and see how long it takes with this internet. Maybe it's slow because I don't know. I got two computers running here. Anyway, guys, I thank you for stopping by. I think you'll like this next video if I can get it loaded up. It's the Chevaholic experience, and boy, it was fun. So no, Captain Tom, it ain't showroom brand new. It's got its flaws and its quirks and its gremlins, but it's an old Chevy, and I know how to work on it. I understand that car pretty well. But thank y'all for stopping in tonight and visiting with me. And I'm gonna put it out there one more time in case somebody that's not watching right now should happen to catch the video or a portion of it later. I'm gonna try and have an old Danny Brown up on the town square in Mountain View, Arkansas, about noon on Saturday. That's the plan. So if any of you can get there, sure would like to see you, and I sure do appreciate you too. Thank you, Ironclad. Um, okay. Guys, I'm going to sign out of here. I was just trying to read everybody's good nights and everything, and I appreciate you stopping by. And we will catch up with you soon. And I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to end the live stream right now.